truth hurts.
We'll hold on to it. We're going to hold on to the slander. Because I want to start with this morning. Packers-Bears this weekend. Bucks got a win last night. Lots of stuff going on. I said this yesterday. But Chewy likes to start with something a little lighter.
Warm up.
A little appetizer.
Yes.
Yes. And so we try to accommodate the big guy. Yeah, exactly. Calisthenics, if you will. All right? Jumping
Dynamic
jacks.
work. What do they call it? Dynamic stuff.
Dynamic warm-up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Aren't you supposed, like, the one area that you're supposed to reign supreme over everyone here is working out?
Yeah. I just call it stretching.
Yeah.
I used to love stretch.
I bet you don't stretch anymore, do you?
I do.
Yeah, I was going to say, you gotta.
Yeah. And floss.
Like the dance.
What?
Floss dance.
There's a dance called the floss?
Yeah.
It's been around for like a decade at this point.
It's been around for a while.
Yeah, you don't want to see me dance.
At all?
No, not at all.
Not even a smidge.
No.
Okay. I got to talk about this morning. Okay, guys? Joshy brought this up in our production meeting, and it blew my mind. So apparently there is a video circulating online of a gentleman who went into an ice cream store and was cut off for having too many samples, for asking for too many samples. You know how samples work, right? You go into the ice cream store, they've got the buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of flavors. Famously more than 31 at some places. We've talked about this. False advertising. So if you don't know what a flavor is going to taste like, you are allowed to sample an ice cream flavor. And if you don't like that one, you can sample another one, and maybe you sample another one. But this gentleman was asked to stop. He was told, Joshy, in fact, how did they handle it? What did they say to say, like, enough?
I believe it was just like, hey, we've got other customers.
Ooh.
Which is sort of the whole point of all of it.
You're taking too much time.
Yes. You are holding up everyone else here because you keep saying, ooh, can I try the cookies and cream? What about the moose tracks? What about the blue moon?
Do we have an age on this individual?
40s. He's a former NHL hockey player. It's from Paul Bissonnette from the Spit and Chicklets podcast. He had some issues because people were making fun of the way he ordered food at a diner. And he basically put changes on everything, which brought up this story of the ice cream parlor where he wanted 3 scoops, which is a lot. And he ended up trying, I believe, 9 different
flavors.
9 different flavors of ice cream.
Whoa. If you're getting 3 scoops of ice cream, you're allowed 3 tries per scoop. Yes.
No.
Yes. I didn't know it was a 3-scooper. I had no idea. I thought it was 1 scoop, and he tried 9. Whoa, that's way too much. But it's 3 different flavors of ice cream. So he's trying the 3 for this one, then he's trying the 3 for this one, then he's trying the 3 for the third one.
You've
Now
never had chocolate chip
perfect sense.
You need to sample chocolate chip.
They're running a business. And what, you just get to keep trying it until you're full?
No, that would defeat the point.
It's like, this is my rule of thumb when I go to Costco because people annoy me. Right? If you have no intention of buying whatever the sample is, don't sample it. If you're going there just to eat, right?
Sure.
Which people do.
Sure do.
God, does that annoy me? Like my wife, right?
Careful. Tread lightly, buddy.
She's in town, too. I'm going to say it anyway.
Whisper, she won't hear you.
Okay. She samples 6 different kinds of beer. Beer tastes like rear end anyways, all right? You're drinking it to catch a buzz. You don't need 6 samples of it.
You know, I can't figure out why you don't have more alcohol endorsements here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. It's a mystery.
Well, we went through the weed. We're still hanging on there. But you know what I mean? It's like, order a damn beer, please. Right? Am I right, Gabe?
Okay, so your point is she's a grown-up. She doesn't need a sample? Because that's, I think, the point that Joshy was making about the ice cream was, you're a grown-up. You know what ice cream tastes like. You don't need a single sample, let alone 9 samples. I'm going to tell you this. When I go into the ice cream place with my girls, 6 and almost 5, they sample. Because some of the flavors are a little mysterious. Like, what is Pirate's Booty? You know, if you're 6 and 5...
According to Chewy, beer. Keep the kids away from that.
Yes. I believe it's an IPA.
A little lager. You know, so like in that instance, and I was saying I have a 6-year-old who's very particular, right? The 5-year-old, I could give her ice cream. Doesn't matter what kind it is, doesn't matter what's in it, and she's going to house it, okay? Like, that's just her personality. But the 6-year-old is much more particular. She wants to know, what does it taste like? What does it feel like on her tongue, right? Like, she's got all of those, like, sensory things. Things.
Oh,
yeah, there
Sure.
we
The
go.
only word that's coming to mind.
So for her, she needs to try it before she has it, because she will be very distraught if she orders a full ice cream cone and then she doesn't like it. Like, that will send her into a tailspin. So for her, try away, baby girl. Try away.
Yeah, that's why I solved this problem that has plagued America for many years now, once the sampling became bigger, is 12 years and under, you can sample. I don't think children should have to get an ice cream. They get very excited to go get ice cream. At 12 years old, above 12 years old, you get what you get. You're done for. But yeah, bad ice cream for a 6-year-old can ruin not only their day, but their parents' day. So we're trying to keep the peace
Yes,
here.
but there are adults that'll go in there and say, "Oh, I want 3 scoops," have 10 samples, and then go, "Well, I'll only have 1 scoop."
Yeah.
Which is why I am on board and I support.
Yes.
I am voting for Josh and his platform. If you're an adult, you don't get any samples. You know
No
what ice cream
samples?
tastes like. You understand what the flavors are. And guess what? If it turns out to not be a great ice cream, you're an adult. You know you're going to have ice cream
Yeah.
again. You're going to get another crack at it the next time you go back to the ice cream store.
Okay, come on. Let's
toughly,
be
like, I'll
reasonable
give you another-
here, Chew. You
But,
can get a sample or 2 as a grown-up.
If you're buying
0
one beer,
samples.
if you're buying 1 beer, Gabe,
Yep.
you get 2 samples. That's it.
No,
You mean like the little, like
I'll
the little?
give you 6 samples if you're buying 5 beers.
no,
Oh, see, he's got a
Even-
sliding scale.
And look, especially if you go to, different craft breweries have different, especially with the holidays coming out, they have a bunch of different releases. I'm the same thing on beer, man.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I'll try that. Guess what? If I don't like it, I'll order another beer.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have more money. I can pay for another beer.
When I'm-
then no, don't get that one.
When I go up to the person purveying beer and the person in front of me is like, that sounds interesting. I'll try a little bit of that. No, you're a grown up. This is all about being a grown up.
Okay, hold on. I got to figure out. I'm trying to nail down, Joshy, what your issue with it is. Is it the efficiency or is it the entitlement?
It is
Why
all
not
of the
both?
above because it is the
Column A,
entitlement
column
of
B.
I'm so important. Everybody should stop what they're doing and service me so I can be happy and my belly can feel good and I can have what I want.
Okay.
I think part of it's cheapness. I do. I think they want to fill up, get a free whatever,
And
whatever it is, a
yes.
beer or what, and then just, okay.
Yeah, they think they're skirting the system.
Well,
Yeah.
but hold on. You brought up Costco a minute ago. Nothing is free. I have a Costco membership. It's like $250 a year for the family or whatever it is. So if I bring my kids in there and I'm doing my grocery shopping and they want to sample, guess what? Lunch is served. Like, I don't feel bad about doing that, guys.
But you're getting the benefit on buying in bulk, and that's cheaper than
But also,
going to a grocery store and buying toilet paper. We were just talking about this deodorant.
but they're also giving you free samples, and the person, they're trying to entice you to buy that product. You're already at the ice cream store. It's not like, oh, if I get the mint chocolate chips, that money's going towards somebody else. No, you're already at the ice cream store. You've made the commitment to buy ice cream.
But then, so counterpoint to that is, do they or do they not want to sell the new flavor? Right? If they are putting Pirate's Booty up there, oh, it's Halloween and Pirate's Booty is our flavor. Great. I'm sure you'd like to unload your Pirate's Booty. Can I try it and see if I like it? Yes, I should.
You want to know how you can try that?
B12?
But B12, or get a scoop in a dish, pay your $3, and eat the damn thing.
But are there 9 Pirates Booties at an ice cream store? Are there 9 exotic flavors in an ice cream store? You know what I'm saying?
I think it just
let me
depends.
sample the chocolate
Well,
chip.
this is the thing. So I go into an ice cream store. I know I'm probably going to have something chocolate related, right? My go-to ice cream is Rocky Road. I love it. I get it every time. But if last time I went in there, this is a great opportunity to talk about this. They had a Kit Kat Halloween something. I love Kit Kat. Kit Kat's my go-to.
Chocolate?
Sure is.
Isn't it?
Sure is.
Is there 9 different kinds of chocolate that I don't know about? I mean, I know there's white chocolate and
Dark chocolate.
I had it all. I know what it tastes like. Am I right?
You want to know why, Chew?
Yeah.
Because you're an adult.
Yeah.
So I tried the Kit Kat Halloween flavor. Not great, Bob. Not great. Guess what I went back to? The old rocky road, the old standby, old reliable, enjoyed my ice cream cone. And I don't think I hacked anybody off by doing it. I'll tell you this also, though, Joshy. Does it matter how many people are in the ice cream shop?
Yes.
If you're solo, nobody's in there. It's just me and my kids. Now, do we have unlimited samples? Or is there more leeway if there's not a line or other customers who will be affected by the selectiveness?
From a general sense, I would have, if it's completely empty, you're the only one in there, I'm not going to make a big stink. I do think generally the rule should be, and it's up to the discretion of the person working, does this person deserve a sample or not? And the other, one last caveat is, if it's a special, super exotic flavor, like some places around here do things that like, I couldn't even picture what to do. Like, if they're like, hey, we're giving out samples because we want to do that, I would allow it. Because, like, who knows what a brandy old-fashioned ice cream tastes like? But as an adult,
Gabe just.
I went there.
Don't do it.
Wait, why? No good?
It tasted so much like a brandy old fashioned, it freaked me out.
Yes.
Really?
It just freaked me out.
Wow.
Like, no, I should be drinking this, not eating this. I don't know what to do. Like, my brain did not know how to handle the fact that what I was tasting should have been a liquid.
800-990-3776. Reaction rolling in this morning as we knew it would. Todd says, Jen is hoity-toity. No adult needs samples. You've been around long enough to know what ice cream tastes like. Brandon in the 920 says, sounds like Chewy has a new arrogance. Sample arrogance.
Yeah,
Put it on the
All
list.
right, hold on. Let me put it on there.
Ricardo from Canada says they're running a business. They're wasting money on spoons. You're holding up the line. You're creating a negative atmosphere for others, which will create negative buying patterns. If you are 40 years old, you need to move on with your life. Chef Ed says this is like the person who goes to the grocery store and eats all the free samples for their lunch or their dinner. No, thank you. 800-990-3776. I do think that we are figuring out that there are exceptions to the rules. Joshy is putting an age limit on the samples. And then it is also if there are new flavors that they're trying to sell, right? Like a Halloween special or a Christmas special. Joshy is saying you're allowed to try the new flavors with the understanding you're going to get something.
I think it has to be, I think, not to speak for you, Joshy, but I think it has to be incredibly exotic.
Yes.
Like the Kit Kat flavored, you know what ice cream tastes like?
Yeah.
You know what Kit Kat tastes like?
Yes.
It was bad.
Well,
It was
hey,
no
guess what?
good.
You get a bad. Sometimes life ain't what you want it to be.
And I don't think
Sometimes
we're
you get a bad
anti-sample.
sample.
We're just, there should be a limit. One.
Okay, so you're different. You're saying I'm not anti-adult sample. I'm saying there should be a limit of what, 3? 2?
One. One. If you don't like it, go to something that you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go to something that you know you like.
Yes.
Hey, I took a swing. I missed. All right.
Yeah.
This
What's next in the grocery store? Well, I tried your chocolate Doritos. Here's your bad back. I didn't like it. The hell are we? Where's it in?
Chocolate Doritos.
I'm intrigued. Would buy.
this all like really starts from a place of, for me, I want to be the biggest, like, I want to be the least inconvenience to the person behind the counter at all times. I never want to bother the person or the person behind me. Like, I've been in lines where it's 5 people, and not only are the adults, the kids are doing it, and it's like a 15-minute process. And you're like, I just wanted a scoop of, like, cookie dough. Can we get out of here? Like, everyone knows what cookie dough tastes like.
Yes.
Grow up. And guess what? Sometimes I get stuff I don't like. And what do I do about it? I move on with my life. That's just how it goes.
Peter Pan, Count Chocula.
Guess what? You get another swing next time you're there.
Brian says, if there's a beer that sounds interesting, but I may not like it, I will ask for a taster. After that, I will order a full beer, either the taster that I enjoyed or something that I feel confident I will like. Sounds like Brian is in alignment
That's fine.
with Chew.
Yes, that's
One
cool.
sample, either you say, oh, that was wonderful, I'll have that, or not my favorite, and pivot to an old reliable, an old standby.
But I mean, again, if you sample something, you have to commit to get something.
Or get a flight.
Ooh.
Get a flight.
It's almost like those businesses kind of figured out that thing where people are going to want to try stuff. They might not like it, so I'll give them a small amount.
Brambo09 says a sample should be done for final choice between 2 or 3 flavors. That on our YouTube page. Remember, you can always stream the show on the ESPN Milwaukee YouTube page to watch our reaction to all of the conversations. Jason Wilde is going to join us in just a few moments. We will talk green and gold with him. But as a father of 2, I would be interested in knowing what his position on the old sample gate is as well. Again, this started because a gentleman went into an ice cream store, sampled and sampled and sampled and sampled and sample 9 times before the people at the store were like, hey, you cut off. No more samples. Order your ice cream and get a move on. Jason Wilde joins us next.
Tune in to Thanalysis Show each and every week, presented by Gruber Law Offices. Thanasis Adetokumbo hangs out with special guests for fun and even surprising conversations. Maybe it's his live show with Giannis, a chat with Green Bay quarterback Jordan Love, getting the inside scoop on fighting with Logan Paul, or any one of TA's unique guests. Find Thanalysis Show on Apple, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts. Plus, you can subscribe to Thanalysis Show on YouTube to see exclusive video content from Thanasis. Thanalysis Show, presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call. That's all.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we had an earlier accident westbound 94 just west of Highway F. Looks like they were able to clear that, but we do still have delays from Calhoun to that point, working themselves out. We do have another crash blocking the off-ramp from 94 southbound to the airport spur. So watch out for that. They're just doing some cleanup of an accident that happened right on that ramp. And then we got another accident northbound 41 right at Burleigh. This one is off on the left shoulder, so watch for those backups as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, showers early, patchy fog and drizzle, mostly cloudy, a high of 53. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 43. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Winter weather is on the way, and that means salt, snow, and grime on your car. ESPN Milwaukee's Brad Nortman here. Now is the time to protect your vehicle with a premium wash at Tsunami Express Car Wash. State-of-the-art technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Keep your car looking spotless all season long. Tsunami Express has 5 convenient locations all across greater Milwaukee, making it easy to give your ride the care it deserves. Sign up for a membership at TsunamiExpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
If you're living with chronic joint pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, I've got exciting news for you.
Emmitt Smith, all-time rushing leader and Hall of Famer.
Now you can get relief from pain without harmful medications and surgery. Call my guys at QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics specializes in biologic therapies that can repair and restore damaged tissue. I'm talking about natural pain treatments now available, not just for pro athletes, but to people like you.
At QC Kinetics, we're seeing patients every day who suffer from chronic joint pain but who desperately wanted to avoid surgery. We're treating joint pain with biologic therapies, regenerative solutions with long-lasting results.
Listen, it's all about getting your life back. Playing touch football with kids, walking upstairs pain-free, getting back on a job, and patients at QC Kinetics are raving about the results.
QC Kinetics. Call to learn more about restorative treatments that can get you back in the game.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
FX presents American Sports Story. Aaron Hernandez.
Football is all I got. Everything's okay when I'm playing ball.
You can't make mistakes, Aaron. People are watching you.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Is there something that you want to tell me?
You don't know the kind of thoughts I have.
Aaron! FX's American Sports Story. Aaron Hernandez. All new Tuesdays on FX. Stream on Hulu.
Can't be home for the game?
Caught for the touchdown!
NFL Plus has you covered with live, local, and primetime games on the go.
What a game he's had.
On your mobile device, you can access live, local Sunday afternoon games and all the primetime action from Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, and Monday Night Football.
Tonight was definitely their night.
Sign up for NFL Plus today at plus.nfl.com/radio. Subscription required for NFL Plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Ready, down, put.
All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that This guy's on the field. He changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Looking forward to getting the latest from Jason Wilde on the green and gold. Every Packers player practiced yesterday. That sounds like one of those sentences that they make you say to warm up your mouth. Jason, good morning. How are you doing today?
Fake news. Fake news.
Oh, no, not fake news.
Oh. Talk to me, Bruce.
Again, this is important to Colby Wooden. I'm not sure it's important to the rest of our audience. But so I don't, because of the scheduling, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but we have a show that's on after you guys. We call it Wilde and Tausch.
Oh, good for you.
It does okay.
Good for
you.
you.
It does okay. Yeah, I mean, we overcome the mediocrity of the host, and the star power of the former right tackle really carries the show. But it goes until noon, and they open up practice at like 11:45 for the 15 minutes or whatever we get. So I can't be two places at once, so I don't usually get to go unless LaFleur has a late practice, which he hates daylight savings, so there will be no more late practices this year. So a few folks were obviously at practice and tweeted out that everybody was practicing, but turns out that wasn't true. As Matt LaFleur informed us that Colby Wooden, who I know a lot of you are big Colby Wooden fans out there. I know there's a lot of 96 jerseys that get sold at the pro shop, but he did not practice. He's dealing with a shoulder injury that's been bothering him for quite a while. So fun kid, by the way, really great personality. So I don't want to downgrade him and make him sound like he's not important, but he does prevent the clean sweep of everybody at least participating in practice.
Jason, what's the spat between McKinney and Moore?
So, this is really interesting. So a little peek behind the curtain. So there are a few of us that are kind of one-man bands, right? Me, Bill Huber from Sports Illustrated. Domofsky obviously doesn't have a second ESPN guy there. And so what we have kind of a little bit of a consortium where we make sure that one of us covers every large group in the locker room. Like yesterday, Love and McKinney were talking at the same time, and Rob and I were at McKinney, we're at Love, and Bill went to McKinney. And toward the end of the conversation, like completely unprompted, he brings up how DJ Moore disrespected him in the spring. He was on with Kay Adams on Up and Adams, and Kay mentioned to him, I went back and looked at the video so I had a better idea of what had happened. But Kay Adams mentions that the Lions drafted 2 corners and that the Packers signed Xavier McKinney. And he says, who? And I think he's saying who, in fairness to DJ Moore, who leaves the field while plays are still going on. I think he's saying which teams. I don't think it's like, I don't know who McKinney is. But then he says, well, that's nice. Oh, how nice, or something snarky. And again, as is often the case with bulletin board material, maybe you didn't quite hear it right. But if whatever gets you up in the morning and gets you fired up and motivates you, God bless you. And so he was like legitimately pissed, and he's obviously kept that in his heart, waiting for Bears-Packers week. And so it really started. Bill asked him, hey, you played at Alabama, Alabama-Auburn. Now that's a rivalry because, as you know, Chew, maybe back in your day, but certainly not now. For most of these guys, I was talking to Wicks yesterday, and he kind of said this almost verbatim. Rivalries aren't really for the players; they're for the fans. Like, unless there's some sort of actual beef, none of these, especially these young guys, haven't played in this rivalry very much. They don't feel the history and the Ditka and Forrest Gregg punching each other on the sideline of Milwaukee County Stadium. They don't feel any of that. But McKinney insists that this is, he does believe in NFL rivalries, and then he completely unprompted mentions this whole DJ Moore thing, and then even takes a shot at him for leaving the field while Caleb Williams is running for his life on that one play against, I think it was Arizona. So, yeah, there's definitely, whether it's real or imagined, there is definitely beef there. That's the word I keep being taught by my eighth grader. I always think of where's the beef, but where the beef is apparently is between DJ Moore and Xavier McKinney.
MarShawn Lloyd started practicing yesterday. Jason, when do you think he'll be activated to the 53?
Good question, Gabe. I would think that it'll be this week. There's certainly Josh Jacobs was talking about him as if he is playing. Matt LaFleur did allow for the possibility that it doesn't happen at the end of the week here. But I'm really intrigued because this is going to sound weird, but I was kind of thinking, well, they don't really need him, right? They love Chris Brooks. Like, they just think he was a brilliant in-season pickup, and I think he probably was. They still are very high on Emmanuel Wilson, and then obviously they've got Josh Jacobs as their bell cow. But there is something about MarShawn Lloyd and his speed and explosiveness that they think will add just another dimension to their offense. So I think they want to get him up and running, and they want to get him in the game. He's played one game. He played in the opener. He had 6 carries for 15 yards. In training camp, Jordan Love called him a little rocket in the backfield. So they like what he brings to the table, but he's had hip injuries, he's had hamstring injuries, he had an ankle injury. Like, he's been hurt far more in his rookie season than he's been on the field. So I'll be eager to see what he's able to do if he does in fact play.
Jason, last night on Weekly Wager, man, I just cannot shake this bug in my throat. Last night on Weekly Wager, we were talking about how the line in this game over at the Potawatomi Sportsbook is Packers favored by 5.5. I think that's low. And I feel like I must be missing something. I don't know why the odds makers aren't giving the Packers a bigger margin of victory here. Packers are off the bye. 4th in the NFL in net yards per play. Obviously, Jordan Love is healthy. We've been told that he looks like he's going to have his entire contingent of offensive weapons. The Bears are a broken team with a brand new offensive coordinator who yesterday Caleb Williams said he has barely spoken to. Am I missing something? I know it's at Soldier Field. He said that they barely have spoken.
I mean, I'm sorry. The guy is the passing game, or was. Now he's the interim offensive coordinator. He is the passing game coordinator.
Yep. Haven't spoken much.
What are they doing down there?
It's Chicago.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
No. It's great, and that's why I brought it up.
Spoken to him.
That's why I brought it up. I thought it was interesting. I thought, oh, well, that doesn't. But if he had said, actually, Tom and I talk every day. Like, we are in lockstep, and it's a natural transition for him to step into this because he and I have a great relationship, and I think I'm going to be at my best with him calling the plays. Then I would be like, well, there's the difference. Why is this line only 5.5? I feel like the Packers should be double-digit favorites in this one.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, it's obviously very rare for any team, even if they're playing if they're a really good team against a really bad team, to be double-digit favorites in the NFL these days, I think. But I don't know. Josh DiMaggio produces the show. I barely talk to him, so I don't really know much about him. I don't know what he thinks. Like, that is, the dysfunction there is just mind-boggling to me. And I got burned at the stake on our show for saying that I feel bad for Bears fans that they have to put up with this ineptitude and this constant clown show that the Chicago Bears seem to have been for the better part of the last 3 decades, or at least ever since they fired Lovie Smith for daring to go 10-6 in a season. But that just, have you ever heard anything like that before?
I mean, usually from really bad teams. It all escapes me.
Like the guy that's taking over as the play caller, who is in charge. It's not like he's the run game coordinator.
But Jason,
right?
I just wonder if it is, you know how they make associate head coaches, or is it just a title to protect him or something like that, where he really is not the passing game coordinator?
I don't know. All I would tell you is that so Jason Vrabel is the Packers' passing game coordinator on offense. Okay. As you kind of point out, there is a part of him that it's just sort of like a glorified. Yeah. He's still the wide receivers coach, okay? Because they wanted to get Ryan Mahaffey promoted, and so they made him the wide receivers coach. But Jason sits in all the meetings, or at least the vast majority of meetings. But Jason Vrabel talks to Jordan Love all the time. Like, that is all because. Newsflash, in the passing game, that requires the quarterback to pass the ball to whoever is
not Jason.
Yeah,
no, okay.
I know.
No,
Call me
that's
crazy.
not how that works.
Yeah, yeah, no, I know. Doesn't make a lot of sense. So I just and I know this doesn't answer the question about the line, which I don't understand it either. But this is the kind of stuff that makes me feel bad for Bears fans. Like, it's not their fault that they were born into Bears fandom as kids, or chose to become fans when they were like little people when they won the Super Bowl in '85 or whatever it is. But this is the kind of stuff this is just so embarrassing. And I was watching, I think it was Kevin Fishbane from The Athletic doing a thing yesterday where he went through kind of the lineage of how they have screwed up 3 consecutive coach quarterback combinations ever since the Lovie Smith firing, and giving coaches quarterbacks that they didn't pick because they kept a coach around for a year, and then he inherited a quarterback that he wasn't part of picking. And it's going to happen again, right? I mean, Eberflus is getting fired at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Can't imagine he's going to be there. I assume Poles maybe survives and gets to hire another head coach first before they change that job. But the bottom line is that this is what Packers fans endured in the 70s and 80s. Too many, I understand you weren't born yet, a lot of folks, so they don't know this. But like Judge Robert Perrins, who was the team president before Bob Harlan, my grandmother used to complain about him all the time. He was a meddling, he had no football acumen or background at all. He was a judge, and he would meddle in the football operation all the time. They had a chance to hire Ron Wolf before they hired a guy named Tom Bratz, who became the GM with, I think, Lindy Infante. And Ron Wolf came and was like, this place is a blank show, and get me out of here. And Bob Harlan had to drive back to the airport. So it's just unfathomable to me that now, today, in a league where you are looking for every advantage possible, and whether it's having a top-flight chef in the cafeteria or a top-flight analytics team, that the Bears continue to have situations like the quarterback barely knowing the guy who's going to call the plays on Sunday.
Jason, I saw Saleh was back in town. Was he working with the offense or defense? And is this kind of a, hey, Matt, buddy, can you get me the hell out of the house? These kids are driving me nuts.
He does that
because that's what
kids.
It feels like.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't say that that's completely out of the realm of possibility. But Mark Murphy, in his must-read column every Saturday, the first Saturday of the month, did write that they legitimately have hired him. So it's not just hey, my buddy's coming and hanging out at practice. So again, I've said this multiple times. If I'm Robert Saleh, I would want them to pay me in like Quick Trip gift cards, because I want to take every penny that the Jets owe me. Because clearly this was, you look at the Jets, I think we can safely say now that Robert Saleh, while maybe not Vince Lombardi, was not the problem there. So I don't know if he's got offset language that gets the Jets off the hook for whatever the Packers are paying him then. But, yeah, look, I don't think the Packers have like a too many cooks in the kitchen problem. Like, I think having Robert Saleh there, whatever he's doing, is a good thing. And the fact that Jeff Hafley has a previous relationship with him means that there's no awkwardness of, hey, we got this defensive guy who came in and he's stepping on the toes of the defensive coordinator.
Jason, let's say you're taking your girls out for ice cream, celebrating some big athletic moment maybe they've just achieved. You go to the local ice cream parlor up there in Green Bay. You walk in. How many samples do you think you, as an adult, should get?
2 to 3. I can't believe Josh got 9. I mean, he blamed it on this random person. But the truth of the matter is, it's asking for a friend. Can I try the butter brickle?
Yeah. What's vanilla taste like?
I have proudly never once asked for a sample at an ice cream.
Really?
Well, then you're just stupid. That's just
No,
dumb.
he's an adult.
I'm being a grown-up, Jason. If you go to this, it's ice cream.
No.
You'll be good.
No, you don't risk taking a flavor that you're going to regret.
But I'm 30.
Sure.
I can deal with the bad flavor.
The disappointment.
I'll go back next week.
Well, so I just want to throw this out there. Justin in the 414 did weigh in on our ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. He said, I am mostly anti-sample. I love ice cream. But if I am visiting somewhere from out of town, I will stop at a locally famous ice cream shop. And if it's a reasonable situation for an adult, I will get a sample. You might not be back to that shop, and I am using valuable time to stop, so I want to get something I enjoy.
Well, no, I mean, you already know what you enjoy. Like, just go to an old standby. Because it turns out if that ice cream shop can't do a good butter pecan, they're not going to be able to do anything right.
Wait, is there a good butter pecan? Does that exist?
Does that make people
every
old?
place? Yeah,
butter pecan? You do not like butter pecan.
I love it.
Yeah, butter pecan's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right,
What?
Good luck with this guy.
Jason Wilde, you can hear him on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Thank you, Jason. Have a great one.
Bye. Yes, bye.
Why did he sound like Buddy the Elf there on that audio? Bye. Hope you
know what would
find
be
your
a great
dad.
flavor, though? That brings me back to the sweatshirt Jason was wearing
You're
the other day.
inventing ice cream flavors?
Robin egg. There should be a robin egg ice cream.
It's called Blue Moon.
What is it? What would it taste like?
But that sounds disgusting.
Wait, more disgusting than robin egg?
No, I think robin egg would be. What could you put in it that's yellow?
Yolk.
I feel
right?
like it would just be dye.
No, Blue Moon, like the beer, sounds terrible.
Wait, what? Blue Moon sounds terrible? You know it's not actually chunks of moon, right, Gru?
Oh, he would be all in if it actually was.
Is there a Blue Moon
This
beer?
guy who chews rocks.
Hold on, is there a Blue Moon beer?
Yeah.
With an orange slice?
Yeah.
Come over to the wine side. It's much easier and it tastes a lot
Oh my God, I've been down the wine aisle. It's not much easier.
Tough decisions.
Lots
Very
of-
tough decisions.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I hook you up, right?
That's it. If you want a wine recommendation,
$79 a bottle.
oh, he's
It was
got great price
55,
ranges.
yeah. Yeah.
His go-to's 55, but he can get you. He can get you a little lower price Sentry Point.
You can't go anything lower than, say, 16 with a red. White, you can drink 9. You can.
Some good $9.
I feel like we need to write this down. This feels like valuable information
Yes.
Chewy is passing on to us. So let me get this straight. You can't go below $16
With
for
a
a red, or you get the headache wine, right?
It's just aftertaste.
Okay.
Not real good.
But you can go as low as $9
You
on a
could
white.
maybe even go even lower.
Is that because it's sugary? More sugary? Is that
It just doesn't ferment as well. You know, never buy an expensive white. Don't. It's a mistake. It's a mistake. Don't do it.
Isn't your wife an expensive white?
No, she's an expensive red.
Right,
She is a snob. Total wine snob.
It was a joke about.
It went over my head.
Yeah, we should
No,
just
explain
move on.
Really?
Maybe when you're older.
Once again, here's the punching bag. Go
Whoa, I included you in the joke. It's not my fault that you didn't get it. You've heard me talk about Professional Construction Inc. over the years. We've enjoyed having them help us with our home projects. You know, we're not the most handy people, so when we get in over our heads, the PCI team gets us out of trouble. Mike and Michelle operate a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships and doing exceptional work on your remodeling project, your home addition, or your new home. Check out their website. It's professionalconstructioninc.com. At their website, you can see some of the jobs they have done and get inspiration for the jobs that they can do for you. Again, it's professionalconstructioninc.com. Tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Got a couple of more problems out on the road. First of all, we still have this accident on the off-ramp from 94 southbound to the airport spur. So that's still going to be there and still causing some issues. Southbound 41 have an accident right about at Silver Spring off on the left shoulder. On the northbound side, we've got one at Burleigh off on the left shoulder as well. Other than that, we've got our delays westbound 94 from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard, back on the brakes from Sunny Slope Road all the way to Barker. Eastbound is slowing down out of the Zoo interchange all the way through the stadium. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast today, showers early, then patchy fog, drizzle with mostly cloudy skies the rest of the day, a high of 53. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 43. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Sentry Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Sentry Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Sargento shredded cheese, 2 for $6. 45 ounce selected varieties Country Crock, $5.49. 12 ounce selected varieties Cremette egg noodles, 2 for $4. 10 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates, bowls, or bags, 2 for $4.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Sentry Foods.
Win free groceries from Sentry Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Sentry's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
Hey guys, it's ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here to give you some advice. If you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, the Jewelry Center has to be your stop for the ring. It's what I did. They're the best place to shop for diamond engagement rings in Milwaukee for a reason. I didn't know what to get, but with help of a Pinterest board, the Jewelry Center and their team of specialists took care of everything from start to finish. Naturally mined diamonds, lab-grown diamonds, whatever you're in the market for, when it comes to an engagement ring, the Jewelry Center has it. Find locations and inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Opening day's not quite here, but Hunt Week is on at Fleet Farm, your hunting headquarters. Get a Maverick Weather Repellent 5-panel hunting blind on sale for $689.99. And get a hot deal on our Orange Friday warming seat cushion, now just $6.99. Plus, take half off an Orange Friday Performance Fleece hoodie, now only $14.99. Get all your gear at the best prices, guaranteed, from Fleet Farm. And good luck this season.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You called them a white stiff earlier.
From one white stiff to another. I'm pretty well versed in the realm of stiffs.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and we were talking with Jason Wilde about this Xavier McKinney beef with DJ Moore. If you missed any of our conversation with Jason Wilde, you can always find it on Wisconsin On Demand or wherever you get your podcasts. So Xavier McKinney heard what DJ Moore said about the upgrades in the secondary, in the NFC North. I don't think DJ Moore was trying to be disrespectful, if I'm being honest. Far be it for me to defend DJ Moore, but I listened to the Kay Adams clip, and it didn't seem like he was intentionally being like, who are those guys? But I do understand, Chew, when you're in a big game, especially after a bye week, you've been sitting idle for 2 weeks now. You might need something to get your juices going again. You might need a little extra motivation. And I understand why Xavier McKinney might have conflated the information to make it seem like a slight for him.
I did the same thing. And it was totally unintentional. I called, Darren Woodson, who I love. Nicest guy, should be in the Hall of Fame. Great guy. I called him Rod. Rod Woodson.
Well, yes, I was going to say
that's a compliment, though. Rod was better than
and
Darren.
He got mad at me, and I'm like, oh my God. And I had to go, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I just had one of those moments where,
that you have every
But
day.
he was mad, rightfully so.
Then he used it as motivation
No,
against
he
you?
didn't. He's not that. He was just he's like, I get it. Don't worry about it. But he was ticked at the time that I did it because he thought I was being a jerk.
Yeah.
And calling him
Well,
that.
if he listened, again, I know this is years after you've played now, but if he's listened to this show any little bit, he understands that you get names wrong constantly.
I'm sure he does too. I'm sure he has moments now, but
as far as manufacturing slants, did you experience that? Did you have guys who would drum up #fake news?
Yeah. Holmgren would incite it because he would take something. Holmgren was huge on bulletin board material as long as it didn't come out of our camp. Because if something like that happened, he'd pull you up to the office and he'd get ticked. He did not want bulletin board material, but he welcomed it from the other side. So if someone said something inflammatory back in the day, we would walk in after morning meetings and everyone would have, a piece of paper taped on the locker with the quote. Which we thought was still, we're like, who cares? Some people roll with it, some people don't.
Well, but in this instance, I wonder if McKinney lets it go, if it's just the who. But the fact that DJ Moore then finished the whole thing by going, oh, good for them.
That's nice, is what he said.
Oh, that's nice. Whatever condescending way he decided to put that's what takes it to the next level.
But in pregame, is this going to turn into a Jair and Diggs? Remember that whole scrum before the Houston game? Because when you're at home, you feel a little braver.
But
you feel a little braver.
When you're on the road, not as much?
Well, it depends on the guy, So but I could honestly see something happening before the game because Jair's probably going to roll with it and say something to it. I would anticipate a scrum before the game.
Fireworks?
Hell yeah.
Just, mouthing, and you're on our side of the field.
Xavier McKinney wouldn't normally be covering DJ Moore, though, right? Wouldn't that be a Jair Alexander assignment?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But guys go to bat for one another, and especially position groups. They're going to, I guarantee Jair's going to, and I like it. I love this stuff, Just don't enter that 5-yard circle because you get fined.
Well, and does it also...
if it's a fight, it's got to be a fight.
Does it also amplify the rivalry a little bit? Because the argument has been that the rivalry is not as powerful, feisty, significant as it has been in the past because it's been so one-sided. It's been so lopsided. Matt LaFleur undefeated against the Bears in Chicago.
But again, like Jason pointed out, rivalries in every sport, it's for us. It's for the fans. Because teams, players change over. The Packers are the youngest team in the league.
Yeah.
How many of these guys, are going through this? It's still this third or fourth, fifth time. They're still so young to it. The rivalries are for us. They're for the fans.
The only way rivalries work is if both sides are good at one point in time. Like the town of Green Bay used to do things back when I played. Like there were restaurants that would put Bears jerseys out as doormats before you got into the restaurant.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if they do that. Do you hear anything around here of them doing things like that?
No, but if I would do that, but that means I would have to go out and spend money on a Bears jersey.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll see if I can scrounge
Goodwill?
something up. I'll drive around today. I'll see if I can find like a Goodwill, maybe a Bears t-shirt, Bears something, and I will put it out as a doormat in front of our studio.
I love that. That's brilliant. It's great. You know who would have one is Rutledge.
He's not going to give one up.
If he doesn't know what you're going to use it for, he might be like, hey, I'm thinking about changing allegiances. Can I borrow a Bears jersey?
I think he might see through that.
Isn't it time? Do you think there's Bears fans that jump ship? Like, wouldn't you choose another team?
How bad would it have to get?
It's bad. They're terrible. 85 was their last.
Yeah. Well, don't
Super
forget
Bowl
about
they
Sexy
won.
Rexy. Super Bowl they won, yes, but.
But that was a strike year, wasn't it, or something like that? It was something weird. Listen, they suck. I kind of like it. And they bring it upon themselves because they're delusional. They start every year like, hey, we're going to be great.
Are you serious, though? This past year, you didn't think that they had a reason to be delusional? The start of this season.
I did, and I kind of fell for the bait
That's
because we
right,
were
you
talking about the
did.
rear view mirror
Yes,
and things
you
like that.
did.
But I always kept them in the rear view. I didn't bring them up to the side. I just find it. In my doc yesterday called asking for tickets for the Minnesota game. I'm like, wants to bring his kids. I'm like, why? Why? You're going to scar them, you know? So if something happens to me, he implanted something somewhere for me. Just know that, okay?
Wait, hold on. What are you talking about? Your doctor implanted something in you
No, I'm
because
saying
you
if
commented
something-
on his fandom?
He's just that bad of a delusional Bears fan. I'm like, jump ship. You know? The thing already sunk. And you're trying to save it.
I think we can get value out of looking back at how wrong we all were about the Bears, because regardless of talent level, the dysfunction that reigns from the very top to the bottom is something that is insurmountable. They need wholesale change to a degree, and we underestimated just how ineffective they are as in, like, Big Cat talked about it on his podcast. Like, we're seeing what if they would have drafted Patrick Mahomes. He wouldn't be as good. Not comparing those two players, but he wouldn't be this guy because Andy Reid and that system, that structure is better.
But hold on. I will also say this. The other thing that makes it way worse for Bears fans is watching teams, franchises like the Washington Commanders, who were the laughing stock of the league, guys, under Dan Snyder, turn things around. Make big changes. That fan base now has something to cheer for, something to be excited about, right? I would argue the Detroit Lions. I would argue they were an 0-16 team not that long ago, and it felt like they were always going to be the worst team in the NFC North. Get a brand new coach in there, get management in there, flip it around. Now they're the top team in the NFC. A lot of people expect them to go to the Super Bowl, and they're seeing that it can be done. It's not like it can't be done. It's not like other teams out there haven't figured out a recipe, haven't figured out a blueprint. But the Bears, for whatever reason, even seeing this happen with other teams, still have not pushed the right buttons, pulled the right levers, and gotten this thing on the tracks. And I think that is what is even more frustrating for Bears fans.
Could Caleb Williams be a bust?
Yes.
As a Bears player, of course. I think I said this yesterday. I think it was on Weekly Wager, or maybe it was not, maybe it was on our show. Courtney Cronin was saying the players in the locker room are saying he's too good to fail. And that is not taking into account the environment he has been planted in. I don't know that there's anyone who is too good not to fail in Chicago.
Ooh.
Wait, too good to fail. Too good not to fail.
Mm-hmm. Too good not to fail. Yeah, I mean, the only one you can think of is Patrick Mahomes, right? That's the one you would think maybe he can get above this. But also when you mentioned the teams that have come back, one of them required, like, police and FBI investigations and then a sale of the team.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Like, the Lions didn't go through that much of a wholesale change, but I think the Bears are in the Commanders' territory where it needs to be cleaned house every level.
But as Chewy said, I mean, it can be tough if you don't have the right processes in place. It can be tough to find that one person that the Lions have found in Dan Campbell to turn the culture around.
And not to bring it back to college football, but that's what I do because that's the space that I'm most experienced in, guys. Why do so many guys have success after working under Nick Saban? Because they literally go in there and they Xerox his program. How he runs everything from top to bottom, the schedule, the priorities, everything. And they say, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to bring it to Georgia. I am going to copy this. I'm going to bring it to Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Like, without knowing how those successful organizations do it, you're just wandering in the dark, aren't you?
One of the greatest things I took for Holmgren for all the years, and he said it multiple times a year. He said, as soon as you let the little things slip, then you start letting the bigger things slip. You know? Like the DB in Washington acting like a fool. You know? That's suspendable. That's
suspended him
Holmgren
one
would have
quarter.
said, one game, you're on the bench. We ain't doing that crap here. You know, DJ Moore, I don't care who you are. That's suspendable. That ain't gonna and that's the organization. Little things slip, then bigger things slip. Because it's not just the coaches, it's the front office as well.
Well, and the belief that you are so far gone and you're trying to take steps in the right direction so you can't bench that guy or you can't cut that guy because you need them for the rebuild is probably part of that polluted mindset as well.
Once you have your veteran players asking for a change at quarterback, done.
Well, so you're a player. You ask for the change. They obviously don't do it. Are you pouting a little bit?
You don't have faith. You know, I mean, guys talk.
Yeah.
You know, you're always taught don't ever talk about the defense, and defense don't ever talk about the offense.
But these are things that competent franchises say too.
Yes.
Right? Like
and
the baseline is competent franchise. I'm going to read you the quote. We haven't really talked much through this time. We just haven't been in the position to have many conversations. But I think he's pretty detailed and will put us in a position to help us win football games. Caleb Williams on his relationship with new OC Thomas Brown.
Who is the passing game coordinator before getting promoted?
Correct me if I'm wrong. You need a quarterback to throw the ball for a passing game?
Helps.
Debatable, but I'll suspend my disbelief to follow you down this road, Josh.
I thought those two would be pretty connected.
And everyone
But that tells you just how dysfunctional they are as like a coaching staff, as an organization. Your passing game coordinator doesn't have access to your quarterback?
But which is weird because all the coaches want to talk to the quarterback because they're the face of the franchise, so they want to get in good with them.
Well, because you had also said that like every guy, and maybe this is from the Playmakers podcast that I was listening to, and Sean McVay, your guy, saying like you would pitch plays to the offensive coordinator and to the head coach because if you got a play in there, that meant that you were on the up and up, right?
Yeah.
So I would think that Thomas Brown.
Mike Sherman would do that every week with us. He'd say, drop a play in the red zone that you like. And I don't ever remember getting one in, but he would always, they'd keep you involved.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just an organizational thing.
Look at the Aaron Rodgers industrial complex. Nathaniel Hackett has gotten multiple jobs he doesn't deserve. Luke Getsy got a job.
Sure.
Like Aaron Rodgers guys get jobs because when you are close to those people, it behooves you. You're thought of highly.
And it goes back to Brett. I mean, look at how many jobs Brett got. I mean, Marty Mortonwig, a head coach.
Yeah, I mean, again, Marty didn't work out, but Andy.
What did you say his last name is?
Mortonwig. I love Marty too. It's just, yeah. I mean, it goes Dick Geron, John Gruden.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it goes, and not only that, he got guys probably that weren't qualified to be coordinators or good enough coaches to be coordinators. So the trickle down is huge.
We got to take a break on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Again, I mentioned this with Jason Wilde. The line in this game is Packers 5.5. If you got some time, folks, you might want to cruise over to Potawatomi Sportsbook and, I don't know, just take a gander at it. Not telling you what to do. I'm just saying that it feels like the Packers are on the up and up, and it feels like the Bears are on the down and down. And if you go to Potawatomi Sportsbook, remember, in a major move for all sports bettors out there, you can now use your Potawatomi Rewards card at most of the self-service kiosks and at the betting counter. That means you can bet on your favorite sports and your favorite teams and earn reward points along the way. That is a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at titosvodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Hey,
Hey, sports fans, looking to level up your next private event? V Private Bar Services is your game changer. Move beyond the ordinary. V Private Bar Services crafts custom cocktails tailored to your brand and your guests' taste. Imagine a bar experience that's as unique as your business. Our expert mixologists will create a memorable experience that your clients and team will rave about. From signature cocktails to full-service bars, we've got you covered. Be the MVP of your next event. Visit vprivatebar.com/MVP to book today.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Sam Steiner is joining me. How important is it that actual surgery is viewed as a last option?
The way we always want to treat people is try and do something least invasive to get people where they want to be. And in some cases, that means talking to them, setting them up with a therapist, explaining what they have going on. And in other cases, if it comes to it, then yes, it means operating on them.
When you're dealing with very active people, how do you help them handle the entire process of recovery?
The hardest part with some patients is explaining to them that even though you feel great, you do have to have a period where you lay off. You adhere to precautions and protocol. But I think when you take a person, you have them do the least invasive procedure. That's what we want to do, is we want to be forefront, cutting edge, doing the least invasive possible to get people back onto a protocol that gets them back into the activity they want to do the fastest.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
Join the roar of 18,000 Bucks fans at Fiserv Forum and be a part of the slam dunks, game-changing plays, and electrifying victories live. Witness the edge-of-your-seat action and unforgettable moments as they happen. You don't want to miss this. Grab your calendar, handpick your favorite matchups, and secure your seats for Dame time in Milwaukee and every incredible moment that comes next at bucks.com/tickets. That's bucks.com/tickets.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Keslers Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Keslers Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Keslers is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Keslers Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Keslers.
Find the Keslers nearest you at KeslersDiamonds.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I would say James Earl Jones because he's more grandfathery. Every role he kind of played, he was
Darth Vader was super grandfathery.
Very loving.
La, 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 Luke. Luke, I am your father.
Those Star Wars #1 are horrible. You got to go to the originals. No.
Yeah,
no.
That's what we're talking about. Yeah. The original 3.
It was good when he didn't even know who Darth Vader was.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
The best one was Empire Strikes Back, the original.
Yeah, you know who's in that?
Who?
James Earl Jones.
Where?
Dip bleep. He is the voice of Darth Vader.
Are you sure? I didn't know that.
Look, your father wants you to check out the delay problems we're having at the loading dock. Now, I know you'd love to just sit there and keep being not slim, but we got to work a little today, okay?
That was from Star Wars.
I know.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chmura. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count.
With apologies to Colby Wooden, who apparently Jason Wilde told us was the only guy who did not practice yesterday, it does feel very good that after the bye week, all of the Green Bay Packers, with the exception of Colby Wooden, were on the practice field yesterday. Chew, does that make a difference? when you don't have guys who are injured or limited or questionable headed into a big game, a rivalry game to start off the second half of your season, again, it feels like a step in the right direction. It feels like another reason for optimism surrounding this Green Bay Packers team this weekend.
Yeah, you always want to be full strength. Injuries most times are luck. You look at, there's a handful of good teams out there that season is over because of injuries. I mean, Miami comes to mind, even though Tua's back. I don't know if they can recover. Dallas, they're done. So they've been pretty lucky so far when it comes to not losing guys for the season. So, because we are getting close to, all right, now here we go. We're probably a month away from here we go. We got to start trending upwards.
Well, that's the exciting part, Chew. They're 6-3, and I think their best football's ahead.
Yeah, and they haven't played great football. And I think, Jen, that in part is why the line is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the Packers are coming off.
Because the last game they played,
disappointing.
They didn't play very well. So it is nice. It's very nice. Now, there are a couple positions where they really can't afford to have injuries, and hopefully they make it through. But, yeah, anytime you're full strength, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
That's where, to me, especially after coming off the Lions game, Jair, Evan Williams, hearing that those guys are healthy and ready to go. I mean, you knew that Jordan, he played through the groin injury against Detroit, so you knew he was going to be continuing and ready to go. The fact that Myers, after you had the bad snaps, okay, shouldn't be an issue against Chicago. He'll probably be ready to go. Having Jair, having Evan Williams in your full complement in the secondary, because that's really a place, Chew, that can't afford injuries, is the secondary, because it gets pretty thin pretty quick. That makes me feel good coming out of the bye. All right, they were able to get healthy. Now we can start rolling the final 8 games.
And we're getting close to scoreboard watching. You know, tonight's a big game. Philly playing Washington. That's going to have ramifications at the end of the season. And then you look at the North. Minnesota has a layup game. They are playing Tennessee, and then the Lions have a layup game against the Jags. So you can't lose a game like this. You know, you cannot lose, because if you lose this game, the North is gone, right? And then you have to – we're getting close to eyeballing. Well, who would you rather play, Philly or Washington? Would you rather play at Washington or at Philly? Or who would you rather play at home? So we're about – how far away you think we are to really start the scoreboard watch?
Well, I think
see what's happening with San Francisco in Arizona.
I think you're right. We're in the second half of the season. There's 8 games remaining. You've got big-time NFC games going on. You're mentioning the Commanders at the Eagles tonight on Thursday Night Football. I think, yeah, if you're not staring straight at the scoreboard, you're at least peeking out of the corner of your eye, Gabe.
Yeah, I think it has to be. I think it's starting now, Chew. Because, yeah, I mean, the Eagles are a team that have a tiebreaker over you.
Like, who do you want to win? Who do you want to win tonight?
Well, again, if you're a Packers fan, wouldn't you be pulling for the Commanders?
No, I think you want Philly to win because you want Philly to win the division. Then you don't have to
very good point. Yes, Phillies, and you don't have to compete with somebody else for those wild card spots.
Yeah, that would have a tiebreaker over you. You know, you would potentially have a tiebreaker over Washington, and you would be ahead of Washington if they lose, because then they have their 4th loss. And so that's the way I'm looking at it. Maybe you want to look at it a little bit differently.
No, I like that theory. That's a good one.
But also, I think the scoreboard watching starts now, because you have a long way if you want to catch Detroit, right? Like, chances are, in order to win the division, you can only lose one more time, and that game can't be to the Lions. You have to go, to me, I think, to win the division, you have to go 7-1.
But similarly, if you can beat the Vikings when you play them coming up, and you can beat the Bears, then you should be theoretically in second place in the division.
Yeah.
Which probably locks up that wild card spot.
One of the wild card spots.
As opposed to sitting there and fighting with the Vikings for positioning and then wondering if you're going to be on the outside looking in. Is there any chance in anyone's mind that the Packers miss the playoffs this year?
Yeah, there's a chance.
Depends on this stretch. I mean, I watched San Fran last week. They're still meh, but they weren't sure about McCaffrey and how to use it and how much to use him. I would think by the time he gets to the Green Bay game, he's going to be full strength. Is it next week?
Yeah.
It goes Bears, Niners, Dolphins.
And they have, do they have a layup game this week?
The Niners this week have the Seahawks at home.
Okay, I mean, that's a game they should win, but Seahawks, you know, like Seattle. Seattle's going to be a tougher game than the Bears. I don't think Seattle's making the playoffs, but it's a first-year coach, and he's going to have them fighting tooth and nail every game, and that's a tough place to play. They just can't crap down their legs with a game they should win, right?
Yeah, but I would also like to see them win one of these other big marquee games. Because I would argue the 3 biggest games of the season, they have come up empty.
What did Adam say? He said he sees 2 losses in there?
To the Lions and the Vikings.
Which would do what?
You're going to make the playoffs at that point.
But you're not.
You're not winning the division. Can't win the division.
So one wild card team gets a home game.
No wild card team gets home games.
I thought they did.
They did when you played. When there were only 3 divisions. But yeah, if you win your division, those 3 division winners host the 3 wild card teams.
So they're on the road for 3?
If they're a wild card team, correct.
Ooh,
yeah.
I don't really like that. See, I think we're better. I was misinformed.
Yeah.
That's not good.
To be fair, you weren't informed at all, but
no. Am I
don't know if it was misinformation as lack of information.
Yeah. So they're probably going to have to go. Let's say they lose 3, and they're the second wild card team.
11-6.
I think first round they're going to have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Tough.
Correct.
That's unbelievable at 6-3.
I am so glad that we can explain to you
Help me along.
how the playoffs work.
Well, maybe there's somebody else who was just as confused as Chewy out there, thinking it was 1997.
It is distinctly possible. Let me ask you guys this. I have said I feel like the Packers should be favored by more in this game. And Gabe, you were nice to remind me, well, it is an away game. Usually that's 3 points right there. But I still can't wrap my brain around it. Am I missing something? Am I delusioned to think that that there's no way the Packers lose this game? And I'm going to knock on everything. There's not a lot of wood right around here that I can quickly knock on, but I'll find some, don't you worry, to get rid of any jinx or voodoo I'm putting on this thing. The point I'm trying to make is there a chance that the Packers lose this game that I'm not seeing? And should I be, and again, I know we talked about interceptions and turnovers and those fluky things that can happen, but barring something like that, barring just like an odd day where Jordan Love is, completing 40% of his passes and throwing the ball to the other team.
But that's not an odd day. Throwing the ball to the other team. He's literally done it every game he's played this season. That's not an odd day. If he doesn't do it against the Bears, that would be the outlier.
But they can still win the game with him throwing an interception.
Sure.
It would be if it happens over and over and over again.
Which, again, it hasn't been that rare this season. Like the Packers, and we think of them very highly, and we should, because we see the potential. They have not played up to that potential this year. And you look at the games coming into this, yeah, they squeaked one out against the Texans, squeaked one out against the Jaguars, laid an egg against the Lions. It's not like they're playing their best football going into the bye.
This is how it's going to work, okay? Because the Bears are going to come out chomping at the bit.
Sure.
Right? They're going to come out chomping at the bit.
Maybe.
A resurgent. If they don't meet that, because the Bears will quit. They will quit.
I agree.
If you get up 10-0, they will quit. And then they'll start finger pointing. If this thing is 13-10 at halftime, and the Bears are getting, Packers up 13-10, and the Bears are getting the kickoff second, they're in for a fight. They're in for a fight. Because the Bears are looking at themselves going, I don't think we're good. Well, maybe we're good. I don't, what are we? And if you let them hang around, which the Packers have done with teams this year, they're going to hang around. And the crowd's going to be into it. That's why they got to jump out. Because they're the better team. They're the better coaching, and they have better players.
And they're healthy.
Yeah.
Like
to Gabe's
position
point,
by position. Is there a position that the Bears have where they're better than the Packers? Maybe run defense?
I would say the receivers are probably better as a whole.
Not by the stats.
No, but how good yes, because Caleb Williams is bad. Yes, there were years where bad receivers had better stats than Larry Fitzgerald.
I was told to worry about Keenan Allen. He's dead.
Where are you at?
What do you mean?
What do you think? It's going to be a blowout?
Confidence-wise.
Also, the Packers lead the league in drops. Let's not pretend that they have star-spangled awesome receivers.
But I also think that some of that is because Jordan Love has been playing hampered, has been playing injured, has been not 100%. I think that has contributed to ball placement, and I think that has contributed to some, not all. I'm not excusing all drops. There were certainly passes that should have been caught.
I mean, I think the Packers should win this game. The fact that it's 5.5 seems right to me. The Vegas is baking in, hey, this team makes mistakes. They don't play clean games.
Mm-hmm.
The total's very low. So for the those two things to marry up, there's not going to be enough points for it to be a blowout really in the sense. I think they could easily win by 2 scores. Like, that's just how NFL games go.
Well,
but like 24-10, and then it still hits the other.
Right.
All right, rank these from top to bottom. Jacksonville without Lawrence, Tennessee, Chicago. Who's the best?
Chicago.
Then?
Tennessee?
And then Jacksonville?
Jacksonville without Lawrence.
Very convincing.
I mean,
game.
Detroit.
Tennessee and Jacksonville.
But
Is it Mac Jones starting this weekend?
Yeah, and it's a 14-point spread?
Yes. Yeah, 14-point spread because they are at Detroit.
And then Minnesota, Tennessee is 8? 6. So they're probably looking at it as Green Bay and Minnesota are
pretty
hand
equal.
in hand, and then
Tennessee
Detroit's
still has a defense. They just are put in the worst position drive after drive because of their offense.
What is your confidence that the Packers will win the game this weekend? Because, again, I feel very confident, but then there's this little voice that's like, maybe I'm too confident. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's an element here that I haven't thought about. And then when I say that, John weighs in on the YouTube page saying, Jen's overconfidence is making me worry about this game now. I'm not trying to create worry. I just feel very confident that the Packers are the better team top to bottom. I know you mentioned receivers, which I would argue that the receivers core for the Packers as a whole is better than the receivers core that the Bears have this season. I recognize that the quarterback plays a role in their production, obviously. Flat Smack says this is a typical trap game. I don't think the Packers are overlooking the Bears to get to the Niners. Right?
They're looking at the dysfunction, though.
Yeah.
They're looking at the dysfunction of it all, and new coordinator.
Could that have a similar effect, Chew, of you're looking at their, oh man, look at that dysfunction. They got a new coordinator. Could that have the similar effect that you guys had when you went into Dallas and went, oh, Troy Aikman's not playing. Oh, and the second guy's not playing?
Well, it could. And
you let your guard down
I
the
saw
hair.
on the text chain today that this coordinator's best game was in Carolina versus the Packers. Right?
I mean, it's Joe Barry.
No, I know that.
That's a good point. I had forgotten about that little detail, to be perfectly honest with you.
There's the unknown, because we talked about the unknown with Hafley at the start of the season. Like, offenses don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to play. He didn't show much in the preseason. So there is an element of like...
The good thing is I don't think the Bears know either. If Caleb's not talking to his OC,
that's a good point.
They're going to
Their quarterback doesn't know what to expect. How can we know what to expect if their quarterback doesn't?
But is that a Caleb thing? Have you ever?
Maybe it could be his personality. Yeah, could be a little of his personality.
Yeah.
I think he's a little odd.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that in a judgment way. I just think that...
You think I'm odd?
Let's go to break.
Wait.
What? You think I'm odd, too.
Well, of course I do. But
Yeah,
that's
you're
part
not
of...
Duck.
Yeah. But that's why I love you.
Okay.
You're one of one. There is only one you.
This isn't beating me up.
No, this is me giving you
This
love.
is a warm hug.
Yeah, this is... Don't change, bud, please.
There's only one you, brother.
Never change.
And we're basically good cop, bad copping our way through this thing.
Did you put money on this game?
Not allowed to bet on the Packers.
Well, that hasn't
Yeah, it
stopped you
doesn't
before.
stop you.
What are you talking about?
You bet money on a Packers game earlier this
Not
year.
allowed to bet money on the Packers. Let me see what folks are saying on the ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line, because we got to get to top 8 at 8. The Bears locker room is fighting over who their quarterback should be. We ain't losing this game. That from Justin in the 262. And then, of course, you've got Craig on the other side of saying they could lose. There's always the Tommy DeVito game. 800-990-3776. What is your confidence level for the Green Bay Packers this week? My confidence is very high. Stifler high. Confidence is high. Repeat, confidence is high. But where are you? Let us know. Gabe?
Our good friends at Ewald Automotive want to know, what can you do in an hour? Well, you could take a nap, maybe get some cleaning done around the house, go grab lunch with a friend, watch your favorite show, maybe go to a yoga class, gym, take care of yourself, or buy a car. That's right. At Ewald Automotive, you can be in and out in about an hour. All you have to do, go to ewaldauto.com, select a vehicle that you're interested in, and get your instant price. You can then get a firm trade-in offer on what you have, customize your payment option, even add your own protection plan. After you do all that, you head to the dealership, and you're in and out in about an hour. All you have to do is go to ewaldauto.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Well, we do have some backups. So an accident on 94 eastbound right about at 76th Street. It's off on the right shoulder. One of them is a semi, so be careful with that. Backups from 84th Street through the stadium. The westbound side's a bit backed up through the stadium interchange as well. We're seeing hefty delays southbound 43 from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. Also northbound on the bypass, slowing down before Beloit Road pretty much all the way into the Zoo interchange. Stays heavy through onto northbound 41 all the way up past Watertown Plank Road. And again, right from Mayfair Road all the way up to Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, patchy fog, drizzle, mostly cloudy through the day, a high of 53. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 43. Weather's brought to you by the Corners of Brookfield. Help the big guy out this holiday season. Drop off your little one's letters in a special North Pole mailbox in the Market Square through December 22nd. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Are you looking for reliable transportation this holiday season? I've got you covered. It's Jen Latta from ESPN Milwaukee, and with holiday parties, family gatherings, and year-end events on the horizon, I trust AccuTrans Group to handle all of my private transportation needs. Whether it's a corporate function or festive celebration, AccuTrans gets me there safely and on time. As a veteran-owned business, they pride themselves on top-notch service that you can count on. Booking is easy, stress-free, and reliable. Just visit AccuTransGroup.com to reserve your holiday ride today. That's AccuTransGroup.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Sentry Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Anyway, let's get to this week's specials at Sentry Foods. Now through Wednesday, save on 5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Sargento shredded cheese, 2 for $6. 45 ounce selected varieties Country Crock, $5.49. 12 ounce selected varieties Cremette egg noodles, 2 for $4. 10 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates, bowls, or bags, 2 for $4.
And now time for the big reveal: free groceries.
That's too over the top. Try this. Win free groceries from Sentry Foods.
Win free groceries from Sentry Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Sentry's Facebook or Instagram by January 8th.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Hey ESPN Wisconsin fans, Brad Nortman here. Whether you're an athlete like me or just want to feel your best, Quintessa's new wellness center in Brookfield is your go-to for peak performance. With services like hormone therapy, IV drip therapy, medical weight loss, and anti-aging, Quintessa has everything to keep your body running at its best. It's not just about game day, it's about every day. Check out myquintessa.com/wellness and see how Quintessa can help you stay at the top of your game. Your body deserves it.
Is your business looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner? Fifth Third Bank has been looking forward to the future and helping businesses shape what's next for 165 years and for the last 15 here in Milwaukee. They offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making capabilities, and extensive experience to help navigate the complexities of a constantly changing business market environment. With your business in mind, commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Bubble is a dating app.
It's tuna.
I love tuna. I had some last night.
How do you eat your tuna?
Can we, for once, grow up on this show?
On 94.5 ESPN.
AccuTrans offers a variety of transportation and hospitality services for conventions and events of any size. I cannot stress enough, guys, with the holiday season now here, you're going to be going to company parties. You're going to be going to parties at friends' houses. And if you don't want to drive, AccuTrans can handle it for you. They provide airport transportation, hotel shuttles, individual transfers, even on-site greeters for those types of events. Private transportation made simple. That is AccuTrans' motto. They are a veteran-owned group, and they are who I use when I need to get from the airport to my house reliably and safely. Go to their website, AccuTransGroup.com, to get a quote or book a reservation today, guys. New Year's Eve right around the corner. If you want AccuTrans to handle your transportation, go to their website, AccuTransGroup.com.
The top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pie.
Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach.
Turkey.
The top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket.
Turkey.
The top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed.
Turkey.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken. Oh my God.
Show me chicken.
The top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What do we got, Gabe?
It is Bears week, so the list of 8 things I have in front of me have to do with the Chicago Bears. You and Chew guess back and forth. Once you each get one incorrect, we open it up to the fans. 800-990-3776. Whoever gets the last one on the list wins an ESPN Milwaukee prize pack. Since 1958, I am looking for the 8 Packers players who have scored the most touchdowns against the Chicago Bears. Since 1958, the 8 players with the most touchdowns against the Chicago Bears for the Green Bay Packers.
Want to start?
Don't all go at once now.
Since so you'd have to play in a lot of games, right? To be on this list.
They were only playing 14 games, I believe, in 58 for a while.
So,
but how long have they been playing them twice?
Who's a receiver? Like Greg Jennings to me is. Greg Jennings on the list.
Greg Jennings scored 5 touchdowns in his career against the Bears. That's 17th on the list. Davante Adams with 10 touchdowns, number 3 on the list.
Let's go Donald.
Donald Driver. Scrolling.
All right, caller.
Scrolling.
That was quick.
Should we mulligan one?
Donald Driver, and I'll give one away.
We get one.
Donald Driver has the same amount of touchdowns against the Bears as you. Do you know how many touchdowns you scored against the Bears?
I had 2 in one game, I remember. 3?
3?
Yeah. Can't remember the other one.
You, Donnie Anderson, Brett Favre, Brent Fullwood.
I'll just say it was an interesting decision to not think of any running backs.
It was a choice.
It was?
Certainly a choice.
800-990-3776. 800-990-3776. We are looking for the 8 players, although we do have 1 off the list, right, Devontae?
Devontae, yeah. So you're looking for 7.
7 players who have scored the most touchdowns against the Bears since 1950. What?
1958. Now, why? Again, maybe you would ask yourself, well, why would he go with 1958?
Yeah.
I didn't ask certainly didn't ask myself that at all. 800-990-3776. Looking for people to play top 8 at 8. Looking for the top 7, because we already have Davante Adams, players who have scored the most touchdowns against the Bears since 1958. Let's go out to Dave in Oak Creek. Dave, you're up first on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Let's go with Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones with 11 touchdowns is number 2 on the list.
Keep it up. Keep it going.
Alrighty. Let's go with, Dorsey Levens.
Dorse the horse.
Dorse the horse. It's not going to be there. I got to search his name here. Dorsey Levens, 4 career touchdowns against the Chicago Bears.
800-990-3776. Let's go out to Dumpy in West Bend. Dumpy, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Probably not, but I just want to say
self-awareness.
I just want to say, I think if Jen bets on the Bears, the Packers will win for sure.
Oh. Let's not tempt fate.
Okay, I got Sterling Sharp.
Sterling Sharp with 8 touchdowns. He is number 8 on the list.
Ooh.
Did somebody say Devontae already?
Yeah, so the 3 we have now, Aaron Jones is 2, Devontae Adams is 3, and Sterling Sharp number 8.
No stalling, Dumpy. You know he guessed Devontae.
I'm not Googling anything, I promise. Robert Brooks.
Robert Brooks had 7 career touchdowns, just outside the top 8.
Good guess, though.
800-990-3776. Need contestants to play top 8 at 8. We are looking for the remaining 6 players on our top 8 list. 5. Oh, we got 2. Yes. Give me the list again.
We have Aaron Jones at 2, Devontae Adams at 3, Sterling Sharp at 8. So we need 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Players who have scored touchdowns against the Chicago Bears, as it is Packers-Bears week.
Is this a tough list?
No. All these players either are in the Packers Hall of Fame or will be in the Packers Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Peter in Austin.
Devontae's on the list. He'll be there.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should have guessed
Aaron
a quarterback.
Jones.
I remember a quarterback running a touchdown in, saying something like, well, something. Peter in Austin, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Good morning. I think I missed some, but I'm going to go with Bubba Franks.
Scrubby Bubby.
Scrubby Bubby.
Nah, he's scrolling.
He's got 4.
800-990-3776. Mike in Fond du Lac, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Well, I'll try. How about James Lofton?
That's a solid guess.
James Lofton scrolling. He also has 4. Not on the top 8.
800-990-3776. Go out to Dustin in Milwaukee. Dustin, you're up next. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Paul Hornung.
Paul Hornung with 9 touchdowns is tied for 4th.
I got no one else.
All right, so we've got half the list down. Aaron Jones at 2, Devontae at 3. Hornung is tied for 4th, and Sterling Sharp is 8 on the list.
John in Milwaukee, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Jordy Nelson.
Jordy Nelson with 8. He's tied with
call.
Sterling, so he is on the list. So we just have 6, 4, and 1 remaining.
Amon Green.
Amon Green had 6 career touchdowns against the Bears. He is outside the top 8.
Let's see. Now we got a lot of folks calling in. Josh in Milwaukee, you're the next contestant on our top 8 at 8. Can you complete our list?
Amon Green. I don't know if I'll be able to complete it, but what about Mark Chmura?
So Chewy,
no, he already said.
Yeah, I gave that one away. Chewy only had 3 touchdowns against the Chicago Bears, which tied him with Donald Driver.
Why'd you have to say only?
He's
you
like,
just said
3 more than you have.
You didn't have to say only.
Well, maybe you should play better against the Bears.
Am I right, Jen?
I think yes. I mean,
you could have got the same effect with Chewy had 3. No, he only had 3. See what I mean, Josh? Can I get some kind of drop for this?
Yeah, it's going to be, where?
Fair.
We have that one. 800-990-3776. Let's see. James in West Dallas is next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list, James?
Donald Driver.
Donald Driver already guessed incorrect. He only has 3 touchdowns against the Chicago Bears.
Guess again.
Do you feel better about that?
Sorry, I was on hold. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, I have no idea.
Oh,
who he is.
darn it. I thought maybe he had more rushing
2
touchdowns than that.
I think I got a wild card.
He has 2. You've got more. You've got more than Rodgers had.
There you go.
Makes me feel a hell of a lot better. Does that mean I'm going to the Hall of Fame?
Can you imagine that speech?
Yeah.
Mark Chmura scored 1 more touchdown than Aaron Rodgers did against the Bears. For that reason, He's going in the Hall of Fame. All right, let's crank through some of these people here. Eric in West Bend, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and
You can kind
Chewy.
of skip that era.
Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
I'm going to go with Greg Jennings.
I guessed that initially and first, so you can guess again.
Yeah, I was incorrect.
Okay. Thank you.
We're missing
I'm
an
gonna
easy
say
one.
Sterling Sharp.
Sterling Sharp was already correctly
guessed.
guessed. I'll quickly reset the list. We do not have 1. 2 is Aaron Jones. 3, Devontae Adams. Tied for 4th is Paul Hornung. And then Jordy Nelson, Sterling Sharp are each tied for 6th with 1 more still named there.
There's an easy one. Forgot all about it.
I'll write it down.
I forgot his name. He was a receiver.
Yeah, told you.
Yeah, my mind's going blank.
All right.
Good job, good effort.
Brady in West Bend, you're up next. Let's try to fly through some of these. We're out of time here. Brady in West Bend, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The Bear Killer, Randall Cobb.
Randall Cobb tied with
Yep.
Paul Hornung. He has 9 career touchdowns, meaning we just have 2 left on the list. Somebody tied for 6th and the number 1 on the list.
Guess again, Brady.
Eddie Lacy.
Eddie Lacy had 6. He is outside the top 8.
Let's go out to Randy in the dump truck. Randy, you're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How about Jim Taylor?
Number 1 on the list. 15 career touchdowns for Jim Taylor against the Chicago Bears, leaving just 1 on the list. He is tied with Jordy and Sterling Sharp with 8 career touchdowns against the Chicago Bears.
How about Carroll Dale?
That is incorrect.
Sam in Menominee Falls, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Yes, I think so. Is it Amon Green?
No, Amon Green already incorrectly guessed. He has 6, so we'll give you another one.
Dang it. That was a...
All right.
Oh, okay. How about Freeman?
Antonio Freeman is correct. 8 career touchdowns against the Chicago Bears.
Congratulations to Sam in Menominee Falls. You're our big winner this morning. Ron in the Key weighing in saying next week we go back to Gabe's favorite fingers or another list people can actually Google. That's a good list.
Yeah, that was good.
Good
Solid.
names, good.
Yeah.
How did you aggregate it? You didn't just Google it, right? You were able
No. Used a service through Pro Football Reference
to find. Because this list that I pulled up just now, and once we're out, I pull up a list to kind of follow along.
Mm-hmm.
It did not have Taylor on the list. So I wonder if it was from a different time period.
Yeah, because this is since 1958. Because all time, Don Hudson would have been on the list, which maybe people would have guessed, but there was another name if you went all time that nobody would have thrown out there.
Good stuff.
Yeah, good list.
'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. Look, I know the holidays are busy, but if you're looking for something to do, guys, St. Kate has tons to offer. They have that brunch with Santa that the kids will love. They've got a holiday marketplace, which is absolutely a great way to spend a holiday afternoon, and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences. And if you decide you want to make a night of it, they have special packages right now available for overnight stays at St. Kate's. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Backups on eastbound 94 from 84th Street through the stadium. The westbound side heavy right through the stadium interchange itself. We do have an accident at 76th Street off on the right shoulder. Southbound 43 heavy from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive. And southbound 41 also heavy from before Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And check in the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Patchy fog, drizzle, mostly cloudy with a high of 53. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 43. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. 'Tis the season for celebrating at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. Join them this holiday season for special events to get you in the festive mood. From a spectacular brunch with Santa to the holiday marketplace and one-of-a-kind dinner and a show experiences, St. Kate has a celebration happening nearly every week through the holiday season. Make a night of it and extend the experience by booking an overnight stay at St. Kate. Special packages are now available. Celebrate the holidays with St. Kate. Learn more by visiting stkatearts.com/holidays.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Max Bankman, I'm the new doctor. Welcome aboard the Odyssey.
ABC Thursdays.
This ship is heaven. We're tending to our passengers' dreams. I'm in.
From 911 executive producer Ryan Murphy comes a splashy new drama on a luxury cruise ship with Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson.
It's your job to keep everyone alive. She's in VFib. 1, 2, 3. Clear.
I have a pulse.
You're going to be okay.
Dr. Odyssey. Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recovered from and made it like it never even happened. For instance, TCU walked into the locker room at halftime in the 2016 Alamo Bowl, down 31-0. The Horned Frogs stormed into the second half and erased a 31-point deficit to force overtime, and eventually won it in the third overtime, 47-41.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
Elevate your game day gear or any outfit with official merchandise from the Milwaukee Bucks Pro Shop. From authentic jerseys to exclusive apparel and accessories, the Bucks Pro Shop has everything you need to showcase your fandom wherever you go. Cheer the Deer to victory with authentic Milwaukee Bucks items. Visit us at the Bucks Pro Shop at Fiserv Forum or Bayshore Mall, or shop online at shop.bucks.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Look, you take Jesus and the presents out, and it's not even in the top 10.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you take sex out of the anniversary, then that's not that fun either.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Last-minute pivot, guys, because on ESPN.com, Andrea Adelson, who is a senior writer for college football at ESPN, just published an article that says, even in death, college football fans want to be at their favorite stadiums. And she goes on, I was reading it during the break, to talk about how it has become a thing where universities recognize that fans are so passionate about their favorite teams that they want to offer them the opportunity to be cremated and kept at a space at the stadium. For obviously, they're going to charge a hefty penny, hefty price. So, as they're continuing to look for revenue streams, this is a way to continue to collect money from people in perpetuity, right? Like the estate ends up paying for them to be at their spots. Does this creep you out at all?
No, because I know people that have their ashes in Lambeau. I don't know people, but I know people who said they brought in ashes into Lambeau, and
they spread them probably.
Spread 'em, yeah.
Well, but they're just holding the ashes somewhere in the stadium, right? They're not spreading the ashes on the field.
I don't believe that they are spreading them on the field. There is a family in this article, as I was going through it during the break, that says that they did sprinkle the ashes just outside of the stadium by a tree, and then every year that's where their tailgate is, because that way their loved one is still at the tailgate. I did that story recently on Game Day about the young lady who is buried at the cemetery next to Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia. Like, this does not feel that far-fetched to me. This does not feel that unusual, honestly. As soon as I read it, I was like, yeah, duh.
I mean, so they're just taking the ashes and they're storing them somewhere in the bowels of the stadium?
I would imagine they're going to make like a memorial where they're going to like entomb them each.
Kind Kind of like a mausoleum.
It's called is it a crematorium or
is it called a crypt?
A crematorium is where you actually cremate them, I believe.
It's a columbarium is what it's called.
I don't have a problem with it.
Columbarium.
I don't
And they have had, and again, this story talks about a bunch of different fan bases. It's not just one place that is kind of known for this. They're talking about how a lot of places now are giving that option, are offering fans the option to have their final resting place be the stadium of their favorite team.
So what happens if the stadium gets torn down and renovated?
I didn't read the whole article, Gabe.
So if I want to visit my loved one, I have to go to game days?
Pretty much.
There might be a side entrance. I believe that is one thing that was discussed, a side entrance to the building that you can kind of go into to visit your loved ones.
Where are you safe? You're safe in Lambeau. You're safe Yankee Stadium. You're safe in Fenway.
Well, but Yankees,
not even Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Why?
They had the old Yankee.
And this is the new Yankee
I
Stadium.
thought they renovated it.
No. They rebuilt the field itself is exactly the same as it was at Old Yankee Stadium, but it is a brand new stadium.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Wrigley, Lambeau, Fenway.
Not basketball.
No, gosh, no.
Baseball, you said. Football. Where else football? What will they never tear? Will they tear the Coliseum down?
No.
Never?
No.
Yeah. There, the Rose Bowl.
Right. That's
Rose
safe.
Bowl.
Yeah. I bet you there's people who have brought their ashes into the Rose Bowl and sprinkled them around there. You know, my husband is a huge Disney fiend, and he has said, like, oh, I'd like to have my ashes. That's not allowed.
Which park?
It's Magic Kingdom for sure. But again,
but
not
if you
allowed.
go to Shawshank Redemption, how are they going to know?
Let's be clear. By Shawshank Redemption, you are not talking about digging a hole through the wall. You're talking about cutting holes in your pockets and sprinkling the ashes as you
I was
walk.
about to say, you were expecting that upon Dario's untimely death, that Jen was going to crawl through the toilet bowels of Disney, sneak in and spread the ashes?
What park?
Magic Kingdom.
Oh. I got to go Epcot. Right?
I don't have it.
Yeah, no, I'm no.
What?
I'm not spreading my ashes at Disney.
Are you
going,
would you spread your ashes at Lambeau? Would you spread your ashes at
Horicon High?
It's a fair question. Answer the question.
No, I would. It would feel weird to me. Now, maybe if they actually get a display for some of these, like, it would still just feel really weird to me that I would have to visit the stadium in order to, like, am I going to have to pay an entry form? Do I get access to the side, or do I have to pay a little $5 fee if I want to visit my loved one every time? Like,
at least you have a choice.
Vibe.
Yeah, it's just.
At least you have a choice. My wife's going to be like, well, how did he treat me at the back end of our marriage? He's either going to the dump or he's going to Lambeau Field.
So she would sprinkle your ashes at Lambeau Field?
Or the dump.
There's no in between either, is there?
What's going to be the deciding factor?
Jewelry Center.
See, that's where the deep thinker comes from. That's where the idea about you being the deepest thinker on the program comes from. I ask a question and you work a sponsor in. Oh, proud of you. I'm proud of you.
I'm more hung up on your husband wishing to be spread at Disney.
Why? He loves Disney.
Yeah, there's kids there. That's like the thing. feels like you're bringing the exact opposite vibe by spreading that person's ashes.
Well, no one is going to know. That's the point, I believe. Again, I'm not doing it. I'm a Disney employee. Okay?
You think that's a crime?
Oh, I'm sure
it is against the rule at a lot of places.
Well, rules are rules, but I mean,
is it a crime?
Is it a crime?
Like punishable
if you
by
got caught
law?
dumping his ashes in Disney.
I'm guessing there's a fine. I think it's probably a misdemeanor. Probably some sort of fine.
Okay.
Anyway, I encourage you to read the article that Andrea Adelson worked tirelessly on. She says it was decades in the making of finding people who feel so strongly about their respective teams that they want to be there in perpetuity, there for eternity. It's even in death. College football fans want to be at their favorite stadiums. You can find it on ESPN.com.
This year, during the NBA in-season tournament, ESPN Milwaukee is putting Bucks tickets on the line. All week long, tune into ESPN Milwaukee. Be entered into our Emirates NBA Cup Bracket Challenge. Right now, caller 4 to 800-990-3776 gets to pick one of the two teams we have remaining in West Group A. We have the Clippers and the Blazers remaining. Once you pick your team, follow that team throughout the in-season tournament, and if they win, you win 2 Bucks tickets. And if your team doesn't win, you can still secure your seats to see unforgettable moments. Bucks.com/tickets. Call right now, 800-990-3776 to enter the Emirates NBA Cup Bracket Challenge.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
Gabe Neitzel here. I know you've already heard me talking about how Mentality has helped me over the years, but there are others like me. Jason has been using Mentality for a while now and is loving the results.
I have gotten a handful of friends, probably a couple dozen, especially those that are closer to my age, maybe even a little bit older, because I just tell them, you got to check this out. Do not wait any longer. Just go and admit it. Yep, you're at an age where things are slowing down. I promise you, you're not going to regret it, and that's truly what I get. I'll get a phone call after, like, man, I feel like a kid at Chuck E. Cheese right now.
Learn more today at LowTUSA.com.
This political season, you'll hear a lot of noise. But this November, Walker Media Agency has the expertise and team to improve your marketing, advertising, and IT. Start at WMA2024.com. Paid for by Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency.
FX's grotesquerie.
This killer is someone who knows anatomy.
From executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Detective, you have an entire family murdered.
Niecy Nash Betts.
The monster is out here!
Courtney B. Vance.
God knows what darkness we let in.
And Travis Kelsey.
There's no future after this.
FX's grotesquerie. All new Wednesdays on FX. Stream on Hulu.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's winds blowing across a fruited plain, and also your new fire pit, which subsequently sets your gazebo ablaze. It's hard-hitting football, and an even harder-hitting price estimate from your general contractor. That's a star-spangled bummer. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Oh no, my phone.
Hear that? It's the sound of a skater dropping her phone and smashing it on the ice. Yep, it's definitely broken. But at Verizon, we got you. Black Friday starts now. Trade in any phone, any condition from one of our top brands and get a new Samsung Galaxy S24 Plus on Unlimited Ultimate and Watch 7 and Tab S9 FE 5G. That's up to $1,900 in value. So you'll save big on 3 great gifts. Hurry into Verizon this Black Friday. Service plan required for Watch and Tablet. Up to $1,900 value based on phone, watch, and tablet. Trade in and additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Excuse me. Hold on. Getting
little choked up over it. So, hold on. Gonna be a moment.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
So put your best face on, everybody pretend you know this song.
You know what's going to get me through this very busy weekend, guys? Going down to game day, going off to Camp Randall for the game, Celsius Energy Drink. And you know what? It also fuels Travis Hunter, Jalen Milroe, and Dylan Gabriel, and some of the other college football stars out there. Stay active and energized all game day long with Celsius by your side. Celsius, live fit.
Feel like I'm gonna
If you missed, let's try that again. Friday. If you missed, it's for me, Friday. Sorry, it's Friday. If you missed the first segment of our show, we were talking about the ice cream store situation that Joshy brought to us this morning of the gentleman who took 9 samples and then was kindly asked to cut it out. No more samples for you. Joshy, what was your rule again about the samples?
You have to be 12 and under to receive a sample. 13 and up, deal with it. Sugar.
Sugar. You think if you throw the sugar on there, it makes it more palatable?
No, I'm trying to call everyone who gets samples above the age of, adults getting samples, babies.
We put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll.
Grow up.
Peter Pan, Count Chocula. Are you in favor of Josh DiMaggio when he says samples at the ice cream shop should be limited to only children 12 and under? 46% of people are saying yes. 54% of people are saying no. You did offer the caveat of new/strange flavors. If there's a new/strange, sort of ambiguous flavor, you can get a sample, but you limit that to 1. And then you got to choose. Either you're going with the one you just tried or you're going with an old standby.
Yeah, I think that's fair because there are places want to sell their new things. That's totally fair. They do crazy things. It's like, hey, this is fun, but you might actually end up hating it. So, that's fair. But when you're going cookie dough or you're going Rocky Road, you know what it is. You got an idea.
Oh, cookies and cream. I never had that before. Can I try some?
What would you say if you were the ice cream person and someone pulled that on you? Whoa! Whoa! Are you just independently wealthy all of a sudden, Gabe Neitzel? You don't need this job?
Is camera's fine, so you can do naughty things to the camera?
I thought you said nudity. I was like,
well, that's not
that's not allowed. Can't do that one.
That's technically naughty. All right, I just learned something today.
I was going to update you on the polls, but him threatening to show his is way better. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is over. We'll be in Tausch next.
Finishing off with a bunch of accidents. We've got one.